Fall 2025 has brought one of the most stacked anime seasons we've had in a long time. Big finales, new breakout hits, weird surprises, and some genuinely emotional stories. So today, we're counting down the best anime of Fall 2025, from cozy sleepers all the way to absolute must-watch of the season. Let's get into it. Kicking things off is The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. This might be the calmest anime on the list, but is also one of the most genuine romances this season. The series follows two students from very different social circles who slowly grow closer through small, sincere interactions. It focuses on the tiny moments of connection, shared walks, quiet conversations, and unspoken feelings. The romance builds gently, grounded in believable character chemistry. The chemistry starts off natural, the visuals are soft and warm, and the show focuses on everyday emotions instead of dramatic twists. The early pacing is slow, but once the characters open up, the emotional weight really lands. By the middle of the season, the grounded storytelling becomes its strongest asset. If you want a romance that feels human and sincere, this is worth your time. Next up is Uma Musume Cinderella Grey Part 2. This season shows how strong Cinderella Grey can be when it leans into competition and emotion. The story focuses on escalating challenges, higher stakes, and the physical and mental pressure that comes with trying to reach the next level. The animation during key moments looks great, and the intensity really ramps up once the big events hit. While the pacing slows down a bit between major highlights, the momentum always picks back up when it counts. If you enjoy sports anime that blend heart, tension, and personal growth, this core delivers a solid experience. Next up, A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. Fall's cozy fantasy pick fully embraces comfort. This gentle isekai follows a gatherer who travels town to town collecting rare materials, helping villagers, and exploring new biomes. It's peaceful, focusing on exploration, crafting, and quiet world building. Anyone expecting action will find it too soft, but that's exactly what gives it its charm. It never focuses drama, staying consistent from episode to episode. The slow, peaceful tone becomes the entire appeal. If you want something relaxing with low stakes, this is a great pick. Coming in next is A Wild Last Boss Appeared. The series doesn't overcomplicate anything, and it's better for that. After awakening centuries later, the once-feared demon lord Lufus must rebuild her legacy in a world that has twisted her legend. Flashy fights, charismatic characters, and a confident lead keep it fun throughout. The story can be predictable and doesn't aim for big emotional depth, but it excels at what it sets out to be. Solid fantasy action with great energy, consistent, entertaining, and easy to watch. Next up, One Punch Man Season 3. Easily the most debated anime of fall 2025. The Monster Association arc escalates steadily, pulling heroes into desperate battles while Saitama drifts into the chaos in his usual overwhelming fashion. Story arcs are strong, humor lands, and character moments still shine, but production issues are impossible to ignore. Major drops in animation quality and rushed pacing hold it back. Still, for fans invested in the world, the core narrative remains compelling. Emotional beats land late season, and despite its flaws, it's one of the most talked about shows this fall. Following that, we have Dusk Beyond the End of the World, a slow, atmospheric, and emotional post-apocalyptic drama. Two survivors wander abandoned towns in ruins while forming a fragile connection built on silence, fear, and hope. Visually beautiful and emotionally authentic, though its quiet pacing may lose viewers wanting action. Once the emotional core takes focus, the impact is powerful. Themes of loneliness, healing, and connection grow stronger each episode. One of the most quietly moving anime this season. Now for the next one, may I ask for one final thing? A revenge story that starts sharp and only gets more entertaining. Scarlet, a duke's daughter betrayed and left for dead, comes back with style, confidence, and a talent for tearing corrupt nobles apart with wit and precision. The early tone can feel chaotic, mixing comedy and drama a little too fast, but once the show finds its rhythm, everything clicks. The humor gets cleaner, the action sharper, and Scarlet becomes one of the most fun leads of the season. By mid-season, it stands out as one of fall's most entertaining and satisfying revenge stories. Next up, we have Sanda. Sanda drops you straight into strange territory. A boy begins uncovering unsettling sides of holiday folklore when supernatural beings tied to Santa myths suddenly appear around him. The world bends in weird and unpredictable ways, mixing humor, unease, and Science Saru's trademark surreal animation. Early episodes can feel scattered, but once the emotional core settles in, the show sharpens fast. By mid-season, its blend of bizarre energy and heartfelt moments turns Sanda into one of fall's most uniquely memorable anime. Next up, This Monster Wants to Eat Me. The quiet girl forms a strange, intimate connection with a mermaid-like creature whose affection blurs the line between love and instinct. It begins softly, building interest through small moments and subtle tension. As the bond deepens, the unease rises. Something about the creature's behavior feels off, and that calm atmosphere slowly twists into dread. The pacing can feel too slow at first, but once the psychological pressure hits, the story tightens and the emotional stakes sharpen. Each new episode pushes their relationship into darker territory, leading to a payoff that's haunting, memorable, and hard to shake. Moving on, Spy X Family, Season 3. This season reminds you exactly why the Forgers became one of anime's most beloved families. The story starts light, with Anya juggling school chaos while Lloyd and Yor balance missions and secret worries. As episodes progress, their small moments of growth build warmth. Anya matures, Yor discovers new strengths, and Lloyd edges closer to admitting how much this family means to him. The conflict comes from a few familiar comedic beats returning, causing some episodes to feel repetitive. But the show bounces back quickly, blending humor with heartfelt scenes that hit even harder. By the end, its wholesome charm and steady emotional rhythm make it one of fall's most consistently enjoyable anime. Next up, Gachiakuta. This anime doesn't just start strong, it detonates from the first episode. After being framed and thrown into the abyss, Rudo is forced to survive in a grotesque world built from trash, where monsters roam and cleaners wield living, personality-filled weapons. Bones captures the grit, chaos, and speed of the manga with wild energy. The early stretch can feel overwhelming. The world is brutal, the rules hit fast, and the tone is relentless. But once the story settles, everything snaps into place. The characters deepen, the world building gets sharper, and the momentum becomes addictive. By mid-season, it's obvious this is fall's breakout dark action hit. And finally, we've reached My Hero Academia, the final season. Years of build-up collide as Deku, his classmates, and every major hero face their last and hardest battles against the villains who've shaped this entire story. The season pushes closure to the forefront, rivalries resolve, friendships solidify, and long-running arcs finally get the weight they deserve. Early episodes move fast, and a few scenes feel compressed under the pressure of wrapping up such a massive narrative. But once the momentum hits, it hits hard. The emotional beats land, the animation elevates the biggest moments, and the final stretch delivers real catharsis. It's a powerful, satisfying conclusion, and easily the standout anime of fall 2025. Let me know which anime stood out the most for you this season, or if there's something you think more people should be watching. If this helped you put together your fall lineup, drop a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.